Hello, 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 everybody. It is so good to see all of your non-existent digital faces in the chat. Thank you so much for tuning into Arc 2, Episode 10 of our main Dungeons & Dragons campaign, Love on a Wax Platter. My name is Connie, my pronouns are they, he, and she, and I am your GM and executive producer behind Transplanar RPG, which is our odd transgender, people of color led, 100% homebrew Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition live-streamed actual play campaign set in an original, non-colonial, anti-orientalist world. You can find me on Twitter at @byconniechong and on Tumblr at @and issues. I am also a professional GM with Magpie Games' curated play program where I run Masks, A New Generation. I'm now going to pass along introductions to C.
Hi everyone, my name is C. I use they, them pronouns. I am a dancer, digital artist, and tabletop RPG person streamer on Twitch. You can follow me on Twitch at pi_sharp. And you know how I always am like, I'm a dancer, and we're like, why is that relevant, C? It's relevant now. I am hosting a watch party on my Discord channel tomorrow of an amazing show called Merges in March, Bring It Down Under Your Feet, featuring Alana Morse Van Tassel and Penelope Friesch. So if you're interested in watching dance virtually, like having the experience of going back to the theater, I know that I've missed that a lot. Check out the Transplanar Discord if you're part of it. I'm going to steal Devin's thing, be like, join our Discord, and then look in the promos and ops and scroll up and find my Discord. And that's how you'll find it. And that's how you'll be invited. And I play Okahie, our Asamar blood hunter and babe of many dates. And with that, I'm going to pass it along to Max.
Hey y'all, I'm Max. I go by they, them pronouns. I play Dewey Quirk, the person who's not going on like 17 dates this episode.
Maybe.
I hope not. You can find me on Instagram and mostly Instagram at Starchmonger and Stitchmonger, where you can get pride flag masks, because that's what I do most of the time. I'm gonna pass it to Devin.
Hello, everyone. My name's Devin. I use they, them pronouns, and I guess my intro has been taken, so, bye. No, I'm kidding. You can't find me anywhere on the internet, but you can find me on our Discord server. We have a wonderful, wonderful community. It's a growing community, but it's a very small server sort of feeling, so if you're new here, if you're watching the VOD, or if you're watching this on YouTube or something, don't forget to like and no, I'm kidding. But yeah, join the Discord. It's a really great place to be, and it is the what is it? What did the kids say? Bee's knees? Kids still say that? Do kids still say that?
You're younger than me. What the hell are you talking about?
Nah, it's pretty lit. Not even gonna lie, it's good. It's good shit. It's good shit. You should join the Discord. It's a great place to be. And share pictures of your pets, because I shared a picture of my dog and I still haven't been, you can't beat my dog. She's just too cute. Anyway, pass it on to Erica.
Hello, everybody. I'm Erica, she, her pronouns. I play Vinox Scherzo, who may be Oka's best wing gal ever in this episode, or last week's episode. And I am a Twitch streamer here. Erica New Girl. Find me anywhere and everywhere at Erica New Girl. Last night, y'all helped me celebrate 10 years of sobriety. OMG, the love I felt. It was unbelievable. So I know I see a lot of familiar faces who came in last night to wish me a happy 10 years, and I appreciate you all and love you all very much. Let's pass it back on to Connie.
Okay, I'm seeing some comments in chat saying that our stream's lagging a little. I just dropped the bitrate. Hopefully that will help a bit. So just let me know if that made a difference. Other than that, as long as our audio is mostly clear, that should be okay. So I'm going to move right on to a reminder that we've changed our schedule. So the only piece of programming we have is our weekly D&D session. This thing, Saturdays at 3 p.m. U.S. Central Time. So as always, we greatly appreciate your support during this adjustment period by continuing to tune in on Saturdays, telling all your friends about us, retweeting us, tweeting about us, tweeting at us, commenting on our YouTube, etc. That really, really does help. And this is maybe jumping the gun a little bit, but I have a very exciting thing planned for our 1-year anniversary. That's going to be Pride Month, so June 2021. I mean, all I'm going to say are these keywords: podcast, That's it. That's the key word.
Well, thank you for that subtlety, Connie.
Yeah.
I may or may not have been editing our past episodes into a listenable, sound designed, edited, like shortened, like really, it's going to be awesome. So when that comes out, like it's going to be good. And I also have noticed on the overlay that Scruffuses just gave 2 gift subs to viewers, which means we have hit our sub goal. So I'm going to skip C and go to Erica to explain what that means. And then Erica, could you bring it back to C when you're done?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Well, first we'll just talk about subbing in general. We love to thank and acknowledge the people who have subbed, gift subbed, resubbed, cheered, everything from last week's episode 9. And that was Riverwatch's live streams, Pookie Piku, Hannah May Create, Key Squared, Anonymous, and Crude Imposter Nightbright for your generous contribution. Thank you all so much. We really appreciate it. And as you see in our overlay, and as Connie was just talking about, we have a 25 sub goal. And 5 subs grants the party a point of collective inspiration. 15 subs gives us an auto crit, which even the GM can use. And hitting 25 subs triggers a PC backstory flashback. Connie is going to roll a d4, and whoever the number lands on will be pulled into a flashback scene of the GM's choice. So I imagine this is what's going to happen.
Actually, yeah, why don't all of you put up a finger, and we're going to decide it now. 1, 2, 4. I have my d4 right here. So you should shudder in fear. Okay, so C has a 3, Devin has a 2, Max has a 4, Erica has a 1. Here we go. Okay. It's been decided.
I'm trying to hide. I'm literally trying to hide.
Speaking of C, though, I believe it's your turn to talk about our promo partners.
Oh my God, you're so right. Hello, everyone. We love ourselves and we love you, and we also love our promo partners. You can find out who those people are by using the ! Promo partners command at any time in our chat. And they are a group of all trans, queer, and BIPOC-led streams, pods, and projects. We love them. We really, really do. And also, I have been working on merch, actually. I know that I've been saying that I've been working on merch, but I actually have been working on merch. So keep your eyes peeled for some Pride dice stickers. I can't even roll straight. As well as your beloved fucking shit cow stickers, because apparently that's what you want. So that's what I made for you. So that'll be up on our Redbubble page. You can bookmark that by using the ! Merch command in chat at any point. And with that, Max, what the fuck happened last session that has put us into this place that we are right now? Because I have no idea.
I will tell you, but if you ever want to read episode summaries of all of our episodes, you can use the ! Recap command in the chat, or go to bit.ly/transrecap. If you don't want to read, here's what happened last time. The team is falling apart. Oka's got a monstrosity inside them, Manaia's rage is boiling over, V's abandonment issues flare up, and Dewey's on emotional support duty.
Jesus
also,
Christ,
the organization...
what an opening sentence. Sorry, go ahead.
Also, the organization out to kill him is in town. So yeah, having a great time.
Better now? Shut up. She's better now. She went through a whole arc.
Rev realizes V's forgotten their shared kiss, which hurts. Manaia's plan is to row a boat into the ocean to find her parents, but everyone bands together to talk her down. The new plan is to promise the URL the soul bag they want in exchange for the use of their boat. But they're secretly going to get the sailors on their side and steal the ship once it's fixed up. The URL is satisfied with this proposal. The next few days consist of repairs on the boat and secret recon, and also bartering for the sailors' aid and the monster's URL tag with, apparently, the only currency that matters in this universe, dates with Oka Hie. They've got a big decision to make. Which hot NPC will they go out with? Now we go to Devin for the actual serious session title.
Manaia's better, okay?
We're working on it.
She's better. Okay. So as always, our streams that we do have titles which we procure from various LGBTQIA plus and or BIPOC poets, lyricists, and other wordmongers.
This episode,
Devin,
go on.
And this episode's title is Love on a Wax Platter, which comes from the poem We Are Not Quitters by Andrea Jenkins. If you don't know Andrea Jenkins, she is a wonderful, wonderful human being. We love her a lot, and she wrote a book called The Tea is Not Silent, which you should pick up and read. It's really, really good. And here is the full verse from where our title comes from. All that I know, I do not know. All that I see, I have not seen. All that I hear, I have not heard. Those singing amethyst, opals, sapphires, persimmons, nickel oceans, seas, rivers, bumblebees, the beagle. A song can serve up love on a wax platter. A love supreme will stay in my heart.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that beautiful poem, Devin. And now moving on to the session itself, let's get started. Some content warnings for our campaign may include addiction, memory loss, fantasy violence, death of loved ones, emotional trauma and baggage, self-destructive behavior, bloodletting, cults and cult-like behavior, anxiety and panic attacks described in detail, poverty and classism, a refugee crisis, natural disasters, and economic injustice. As a reminder, at any point to access these content warnings again, you can use !CW in chat. And we'll have a reminder of these content warnings after the break. So, let's begin. Mr. Kim, though he insists you call him Solar, sits across a table from you, Oka. This table has been set up inside the marshy wood that borders the southern edge of the South Shore in green open water, a harbor village in the court of ravens. And the surface of this table is currently laden with cold noodles, fresh vegetables, steamed fish, and tea. Oka? After you accepted Solar's romantic invitation, he had led you out into these woods where this little picnic area had already been set up. Remember, you're here because you want that tag on the ear of the monster you defeated, a tag that might be able to prove the URL's involvement with the beasts of the Cataclysm. Solar picks up a slice of a cucumber, with a pair of chopsticks and dips it into some soy sauce. I tried to find the driest parcel of forest I could procure for our date. What do you think?
I think it's a little bit assumptive that you set this up before I even said yes. You realize that I could have just punched you, right?
You don't think it's confident? I thought people found confidence attractive.
Unplaced confidence is annoying.
You haven't touched your noodles yet, dear. They're quite good, hand-pulled.
I just ate. Oka, I think, still has their oatmeal bowl. I think they have gotten dressed, I think. They went back and, like, they're wearing their normal clothes. They put their armor back on. And I don't know if they have their bag necessarily, but they have their stuff back on. But I think their oatmeal bowl is kind of placed on the corner of the table still.
Let's cut to the chase. You want the tag? I have the tag. I want a date. You have a conversation. So let's converse. Tell me about yourself.
About myself?
Well, I certainly don't want to hear about anyone else. I asked you out, not anyone else.
I don't particularly like talking about myself, at least not without a few drinks. But I don't know. What do you want to know? I am traveling here in the Court of Ravens. Okay, kind of, this is not their forte. They like trail off a little bit. And then to kind of like fill the awkward space that they've created, they grab the bowl of noodles and start like shoveling it in, like so that their mouth is too full to talk.
I see. Well, maybe it'll make you feel a little bit more comfortable if I open up first. Well, let's see. My name is Solar Kim. I work for a bunch of eggheads from the Uhanahi Research Laboratory. I've been working for them for a couple of years now at this point. I'm not from the kingdom of Uhanahi originally. I hail from Jukai. A little, tribe that I'm sure you've never heard of, unless you're from that neck of the woods as well, literally speaking. But, something happened, I left, I've been traveling the world, and, the research laboratory thought that my skills might be better employed under their service. How long have you been traveling with your friends, Oka?
顺水轮, they say, like around a mouthful of noodles. And I think their ear perked a little bit when Solar said that he was from Jukai. Where in Jukai are you from?
Kinongbo, the capital. He pauses, he munches on his cucumber, and then he says, Truth be told, Oka, there's another reason I wanted to take you out on this date. There's something you should know about my employers. And we are going to cut now to V. V, you stand on the shore of the Black Tongue River next to a very nervous minotaur, dressed in what you assume must be their version of fancy. Koi's horns are polished and wreathed in flowers. They have swapped out their nose ring for one with a gem in the middle, and they are wearing a very pretty blue muumuu, or a kind of loose, brightly colored dress. Their hooves scuff anxiously against the muddy soil as they look around and sort of wring their hands, and they say to you, are they coming, V?
Oh yes, don't worry. They may just trust me. I've been traveling with Oka for a very long time. It takes them a long time to get ready. They never know which pair of booty shorts they want to wear. It takes a long time.
Oh, well, you think on a first date they would wear... Well, anyway, I don't want to get my hopes up. We've just been waiting for 45 minutes and
You're
they
right.
trail off.
You know, maybe I should go back to where we're staying and just check on them real quick and just make sure that they're okay. Because I want you to have the best night, day, time of your life. And maybe... You know what it is? I bet Oka is just as nervous as you are. I bet
really?
that they... Oh, I mean, look at you. You're such a fancy minotaur.
Oh, thank you.
Who wouldn't be just smitten right now? I mean, I know I'm having to control myself right now, friend. It's intense.
Oh, they giggle at that. A very unexpected kind of high-pitched giggle from this huge minotaur person. They just say, oh, well, yeah, will you please go check on Oka? And I'm really sticking my neck out here for you, V. I mean, mutiny, and all I'm asking for is a date, so please, just one date. And I won't tell my captain about this mutiny stuff.
You're right. I'll be right back, or Oka. If I'm not back, Oka will be the next person you see. And he sort of like turned off.
Oh God. Okay.
Goes around a corner and.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I got.
What happens when you round the corner again, V? When you come back out?
Well, I'm gonna cast Disguise Self and become an Oka. And V's gonna be, oh, Oka, how wonderful to see you, friend. Koi's just around the corner. And then well, thanks, V. I guess I'll. Yeah. Thanks for setting this up. And so like I'm dressed, I'm Oka, but like imagine a really gay black tux. It's not black, it's all the color palette. It's like the grays and blues with like gold hems and everything, and comes around, but like tuxedo shorts. Because it's, it's a swamp, but they're very like fitting shorts. And Oka comes around the corner and is like, sorry, I'm late.
I'm sorry, did you say tuxedo shorts? Is your version of Oka wearing booty shorts and like tuxedo linens?
They're like tuxedo booty shorts. Okay?
Oh my God. Okay, somebody
I'm fucking losing my mind. I'm losing my mind.
Oh my God, someone needs to draw the stat. Okay, Koi immediately stops wringing their hands, and they look starstruck, looking at you, V, pretending to be Oka, and they say, well, you look beautiful. Where's V? I have to thank her for arranging this.
Oh, three's a crowd. We don't really care. She ran off. She's probably gonna go rip off a joint. Probably try to steal from the URL, V things.
Well, she shouldn't. They've got a lot of wards in place to protect stuff on the ship.
She gets in all sorts of trouble. I just stopped caring at this point. Let's focus on this.
Yeah. You're right. Well, I was thinking maybe we could go fishing together. And they procure like a net, like from behind their back. Would you like to join me?
Wow, you really know how to catch my heart with that net.
You see Koi's eyes literally turn into hearts. Like they literally turn into like little heart emojis. They go, oh my goodness. And they blush heavily through their brown fur. And as you walk off with them off like around, to another part of the shore, V, from the corner of your eye, you see Rev leaning against a cabin, just sort of like she's whittling her knife as usual, and she's just sort of staring. And in her face, you see a rather dark expression as you walk off with Koi. And we cut now as you walk past Mahu's favor. We zoom onto the deck of Mahu's favor, where Manaia, you're standing on this wooden deck, helping the sailors repair the extensive damage dealt to Mahu's favor. The captain, as you're helping and presumably keeping an eye out for Dewey, who's gone below deck, right? Helping keep that excuse up, right? The captain, who's an older human woman who had introduced herself earlier as Akamu. She actually waves you over. She's got like a peg leg going on. And she like sort of leans on a cane. Hey, Manaia, right? And she is actually speaking to you in Wuhan. You're muted, Devin.
How's that?
That's good.
Did you hear the scream?
Yes.
Good. Manaia's a little startled at this. She wasn't expecting to be, even though these are Rohan sailors, she was expecting to be speaking in common. And she turns around and does a Nuhana salute and goes, oh, yes, Captain. Akamu, is it?
Akamu, yeah. She you say that, and she squints at you for just a moment, her brown skin sort of wrinkling around her bright, dark eyes. Then she goes, "You're Kahealani's kid, aren't you?" I can see it in the eyes. Long way from home, Wairua.
Yes, I am.
She very gruffly says, "Sorry for your loss. Kahealani, we sort of grew up together in a sense of the word. But, had a couple of drinks back in the day. Really shame what happened to your parents."
Well, just be glad you weren't put on that ship with her. I'm glad you're still around.
Well, that's the thing about the sea, ain't it? About Mahu. She gives and she takes. Now, they say everything happens for a reason. I'm not saying your parents' deaths were supposed to happen, but I hope you've become stronger because of it. Sailors like us, we survive.
Something I learned from my mother is, well, surviving is but one part of living.
Huh. That does sound like something she'd say after she... What was his name again? Was it, Napua? Yeah. Always thought he was much too soft for her. She deserved a nice, tough girl. But, in a way, the two of them sort of worked out, didn't they? Here, have a drink. As she sort of waves you over and takes out a flask.
Sorry, I don't
Oh. Oh, no worries, no worries. I understand. You want to be clear-eyed for the job. And when you're handling a hammer and set of nails like that on a ship, you don't want to keel over and fall into the ocean, eh?
Right.
Come. Let's do some work. Take your mind off of it.
Yes, let's. Yes.
And go ahead.
Yes, let's get some work done. Let me know what you need. Well, and she gestures at, she reaches back for her axe, but it isn't there, and she's like, grab that later. I've done this plenty of times before, so you can put your faith in me, Captain.
Well, thank you. And she gives you a salute back and says, at ease. You know, we could use a strong pair of hands like yours. I don't know what your relationship is with those other, outsiders, but if you're looking for work, we're always hiring, even after the cataclysm. And she hands you a hammer.
Well, we've got a rather big job we're doing, and she's thinking, what would V say?
It's like, what would Jesus do, but what would V say?
Oh my god. She takes the hammer and says, well, I appreciate the offer, and as soon as we're done with what we're doing, it might take a while, I'll be honest. I'll have to take you up on that.
Okay. And as you take the hammer, finally, last but not least, we zoom from the hammer down to the floorboards and below deck.
I was gonna say, what are you going down on Manaia for? No, you gotta go over before you go.
Yeah, we go down from the hammer. And we see, actually, the camera pans down, and we see at the end of a dark hallway, Dewey. You stand at the threshold of the living quarters of Dr. Ting, the head researcher of this group of researchers from the URL, or the Uhanahi Research Laboratory, your former employers, who are now intent on assassinating you. The light of the sunless sky doesn't penetrate through here. Everything smells dark and musty and rather brined with seawater. Dr. Ting's door hangs open, your lock-picking device unsheathing itself from the knob. As this door swings open, that feeling of primal unease, right, of this instinctual anxiety rises to a fever pitch within you, like there's a hummingbird trapped inside your chest. Dr. Ting's quarters are fairly large. Nothing at all like Mr. Kim's cramped, sparse room. It appears to span the width of the stern, making it about 25 feet wide or so, and about 15 feet deep. The shades over the portholes are drawn, but you're still able to see a desk, a bed, couch, rug. This is because something inside this space is glowing. More specifically, multiple things inside this space are glowing. Attached to the walls, sort of displaced unevenly along the furniture affixed to the ceiling and to the floor, are eyes. Red, glowing eyes with swiveling pupils that, as soon as you opened that door, fix themselves. They all swivel at once, and they stare at you. And Dewey, standing there like awash in this blood-red glow from this room, make a charisma saving throw.
Cool. Cool way to start. 13?
13! Okay. Dewey, as you stand there, I'm gonna give you a hard choice. You either feel compelled to flee, or you are rooted to the spot. You choose.
I think Dewey just freezes.
Okay, what does it look like as you freeze? Do your feathers puff up? Or are they slicked down?
They're slicked down. He's about to take a step into the room. So he's his feet are apart, and his eyes are fixed on the eyes on the wall, kind of darting around, but he's like now moving an inch.
Is your detect magic still active?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, these eyes were the points of divination magic you could sense from about halfway down the hallway. And as soon as the irises swivel onto you, you're like stuck there like a deer in headlights. And the pupils you see, they're sort of shifting, formless. You see them like almost like there's like a sort of like void magic at their center. They seem to form just like a regular circle, and then it seems like mitosis happens and they become like double pupils, almost like ochres, and then they like smush back together and become like a starburst explosion, and they form hard edges and become like a diamond, you know, and then they become like a cross, which then flips over and becomes inverted. And it's just like these pupils are formless. They're always shifting like size and even color and shape. And as you're there with all of these eyes trained on you, frozen to the spot, you feel the magic begin to change. The divination magic begins to swirl and transform. And it turns into, what would make sense here? Evocation. Which you would know is the same kind of magic that powers like fireball. And like... So Dewey, what do you do in that split second?
I close the door.
You're literally the meme of like, what? Okay, you close the door, and the glow like is immediately like swallowed by this boundary. But you can still see it leaking out from underneath the door. You don't hear anything. You don't hear like the thump of something against the door, anything like that. But that uneasy feeling had sort of amplified when you could see it, and now it's sort of like died down, but it's still thrumming there. What do you do?
I run up, I climb up to the deck and find Manaia as quickly as possible.
Okay, Dewey, you're like, fuck this shit, I'm out. You run down the corridor. You scramble paws up the ladder. And are you trying to like hide the fact that you were down there, or are you so frazzled that that's not even on your mind?
Yeah, I'm like doing the fast like power walk thing where you
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Okay, yeah. Manaia, as you're hammering in like a slat, you sort of hear like a soft bang as like the trapdoor leading below deck opens, and Dewey scrambles out looking literally so traumatized. And as you're scrambling out, like a nearby sailor goes, "Hey, whoa, hey, you were supposed to go down there."
I was looking for a bathroom. Manaia, we gotta go. Manaia.
Manaia turns around and actually still in kind of an Wuhan mode, goes, Dewey, are you all right? You look...
I'm... Everything's great. We should... Can you come with me, please? Over here. Pointing off the ship.
Right. Let me just... and Manaia takes her hammer in both arms, and just drives like this nail, which was like maybe like a third into the wood, just like completely into the wood. And is like, right, Captain, be right back.
Of course, though you should tell your companion he shouldn't be down there. That's not where the sailors' quarters are, or the bathrooms.
I was looking for a bathroom.
There's all... She gestures at the river.
Great. Let's go.
Sorry, he doesn't do ships. Normally there's a porthole down there, but that's an old design. We'll be right back.
Okay. Manaia, Dewey, where do you lead Manaia? To a different part of the ship, or are you getting off the ship?
I'm getting off the ship.
Okay.
I'm, like, out of eyesight.
Okay. Dewey, you clamber down, like, the plank, that's sort of like the gangplank, right? Leading Manaia down, and Manaia, you can sense this, like, nervous, manic energy, like, coming off of Dewey. Like, clearly he saw some shit. And I think at this point, as you lead Manaia down this gangplank, we cut now, again, to Oka.
I think something when Solar leads with that, Oka puts the noodles down, and they're like, and they look like over their shoulder into the woods where they just came from, And they nod and kind of like lean in a little bit over the table.
I'm sorry, C, do you think you could speak up or like talk
Yeah.
directly into the mic? Thank you.
Here we are. Right. I was kind of wondering why you chose to spend your time with the eggheads.
You know, there's a reason why I set up this picnic in the middle of the woods so far away from the Black Tongue. I didn't want our conversation to be interrupted by anyone.
And here I thought you thought I was cute.
I mean, I still do. But that's a better excuse than, hey, there's something going on with my employers that I'm too scared to tell other people about. But here you come along and... Listen, Oka. There have been rumors for a while now at the URL. Mostly they were just jokes, you know, water cooler conversation. And Oka, I don't know if you know what a water cooler is when he says this. I'm not sure. I'm not sure you know what that is.
Okay, yeah, the water cooler, okay?
Yeah. And he says, there have been rumors that are sort of gaining root at the upper brass of the URL, including the president, and, you know, this would be the head researchers on their various expeditions and projects, are, cultists. That they ascribe to this, kind of doomsday cult. That they saw the cataclysm coming, even.
What, you mean like the chrysalis?
Nothing like the chrysalis. My theory with the chrysalis is they're just a bunch of opportunists, right? Trying to exploit people's lack of faith now that the stars and the gods are gone. No, this is, you know, for the longest time I thought it was just rumors, you know, talking about how your boss is the literal devil, stuff like that. Harmless gossip, but I don't know, Oka. I'm just the muscle. They don't tell me anything. But the kinds of things I've seen, the kinds of things they've made me do, it doesn't feel right.
Tell me, you are just the muscle, but we see things, don't we? Things we're not supposed to. We listen. They don't think we do. What happened that changed your mind?
After the cataclysm, teams started bringing back these monsters. For research. Wasn't so unusual at first. We've always had an interest in entities, and observing them, I thought, of course, it's natural. I mean, the Andake's foremost research facility, of course, is going to want to know more about these monsters plaguing our realm. I thought nothing of it. But I don't know, the way that some of these eggheads, these researchers talk about them, it's almost like they've dealt with them before. There's almost a kind of familiarity. And now, with the false Hydra, the tag, that all but confirms the fact that at least some people at the URL, I don't know. Maybe these monsters aren't from out there at all. Maybe they were created in a lab.
You don't think that some other team could have just come up and tagged this thing right after Adolin? It's been a few months. If they were created in a lab, then how did they get deployed? Why on Adolin? Do you think the URL caused the vanishing? The cataclysm? Listen, I don't know much about tech, but that's a little far out there. And I've been all over the world myself. I have never seen one of these before, ever.
Yeah, I know. Saying it out loud makes me feel like I'm crazy, but I don't know, Oka. It's just a hunch. I guess I just wanted someone to know. That's all.
Uka reconsiders Dr. Kim, or Mr. Kim. They tilt their head a little bit. Thank you. It's helpful knowing what we know, which is basically nothing. And they're like thinking really, really hard. It is kind of funny though, right? Like it's basically a hydra. You called it a false hydra. I called it the hydra flayer because it's kind of like a mind flayer and a hydra, right? Like,
I guess that's one way of looking at it. A false hydra is the name the eggheads have come up with for it.
yeah, well, that name is stupid. Do you think they could have, like, what if they had a hydra and a mind flayer? Do you think that they could have, like, I don't know, stitched them together?
There's a pause. He considers this. And then he says, Oka, on the bridge, why were you screaming? With the soul bag, did something happen?
That makes Oka shut the fuck up right away. They're like, don't remember it. They kind of lean back and like bite the spot in their lip that has been like carved away by the scar. I mean, I just tried to talk to it, but the connection that I built was stronger than anticipated.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Hey, go fuck yourself, all right? I was trying to help. I didn't know that they could just just jump right in, right? Who would have fucking thought?
He actually laughs at that. He chuckles at you, sort of like blinking like one gold eye and one silver eye. Then he says, you know, I knew it was the right decision to tell you, not anyone else. I guess, I don't know, I guess I see a little bit of myself in you.
Are you good at sword fighting?
Hell yeah, I'm good at sword fighting. It's too bad I wasn't really able to show off as much as I wanted to.
Oh, shut the fuck up and just take your sword out.
Okay. He laughs and he unbuckles the short swords, right, that are at his hip, and he drops them to draw the long sword, the two-hander that's strapped to his back. And as he draws it out, you see like a very ornate design of the hilt as well as the pommel. It doesn't look like anywhere you've been before, really. It looks distinctly Jukan in design as he takes out just sort of like an emerald hilt, and there's like garlands of leaves sort of etched up the blade. And he stands. Well, that's one way of ending the date.
Oka kind of like nods their head at the two short swords. They're like, throw me one.
He does.
They'll pick it up. They'll catch it in midair because they're hot and cool. That is not maker model of the URL. That much I know.
It's certainly not, but that is. And he points at the short sword he just caught, which you notice as it's unsheathed, that there is a very, like, actually it reminds you of Dewey's sword. It's very, like, sleek, you know, no frills, no wings really attached to it, but it's, the make looks very similar to Dewey's sword, if it were a short sword instead of, like, longer, like Dewey's. And as you take it and you step away from the table, he readies to spar with you.
Oh no, we're sparring on the table. Oka gets up on the table.
Okay, great. Yeah, he gets up on the table and he says, first person to knock some food to the ground loses.
You still owe me 150 gold pieces, by the way.
How about if I win? Let's call it even.
How about when I win, I get the tag, the gold, and you cook me dinner again, because this was actually pretty good.
He laughs and he lunges. And on his lunge, we cut now to V and Koi. The two of you are fishing in the river, maybe like 20 or 25 feet away from Mahu's favor. Koi is sort of like, has like the net, you know, on the riverbank, and he's actually swishing it around, and you see like they're actually swishing it around, and they pull up like a net full of crabs, like some like little crabs that were on the shore. What are you doing?
Because Oka is just standing there like, wow, you're pretty good at catching fish and stuff. I don't want to say twiddling thumbs, but definitely like really has no interest, but just is like trying to be like, is continuing to like watch and just be like, yeah, you're really good at this.
Thank you. I learned how to do this from my mom. She was really good at catching crabs and shellfish and stuff. It's different when it's freshwater, though.
I'm just curious what it's gonna be like to, cook some food in a place where no one can die. I mean, what are you gonna do with these?
Oh, I never thought about that, actually. And they look a little traumatized looking down at these little crabs inside their net. They go, wait, if I boil them, they'll just keep living? So if I eat them, they'll be alive inside me?
I mean, I don't want to give you nightmares, but I think I just gave you nightmares.
Gah! Oh. And you see that Koi looks like very shaken, like they're shivering a little bit.
Hey, it's okay. Why don't you come out of this river here and we can warm up over here on the shore?
Oh, you see their like little pink nose like flushes. They go, oh, okay. And they dump the crabs back into the river and they like wring out the net and they let it dry on a post and they follow you to where do you lead them?
Somewhere kind of, a dry, trying to find some type of dry spot to maybe sit that could contain 2 people.
Maybe like a little porch area in front of one of the non-destroyed cabins from the monster fight. As he sit down, Koi just goes, this is really dumb, but I thank you so much for agreeing to go on a date with me. Ever since I saw you fly off over the roof, after having beaten that monster and saved all of our lives, I don't know. There's not a lot of heroes left in the world, and I'm just grateful.
Well. I'm not a hero. I'm just, Stop laughing, Steve.
Sorry, I keep laughing. It's so fucking funny.
Oh, I'm not a hero. I just, I like to fight monsters and kill stuff. I'm just doing my job.
Oh, but that's really cool. I became a sailor, because it was what my dad did, but also because I just wanted to see all sorts of different people and, well, people like you give me hope. After the cataclysm, I lost my parents, actually, and, Captain Akamud sort of took me in, kept me going, but to be honest, I was sort of losing hope for the world. Everywhere I looked, people were losing homes, losing jobs, losing family. But you make me feel like it could be different.
Well, you shouldn't look up to me. I just, I'm real fucked up, and you should just, I'm glad you have hope and stuff, but that hope, comes
unexpectedly they hug you. They sort of like swaddle you up in like a big fuzzy hug and they go, I'm so sorry, you must have lost people as well. Who did you lose?
I kind of lost everybody a long time ago, so really the cataclysm has just sort of just been my life anyway.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Was it your parents? Did you have siblings?
Yeah, they're all gone. I'm alone in the world.
Oh.
I've got nothing. My life is black darkness, and I'm just, the stars are gone. So just like my life.
Oh my god.
Oka on a date. All is lost and there is no hope in the world. God, we may as well lie in the darkness and suffer. Fucking hell.
You're You're so complex. You say all these things about yourself, but you're a beacon of light.
Well, I do have a pretty badass flame sword at one point. That was
Whoa,
nice.
what? A flaming sword? Can I see? Please?
I have to cut myself deeply to do it. It kind of hurts a lot.
Oh, that's so cool. I did notice that. You were using your blood to lash yourself to the monster. That was so cool.
Yeah, I have a thing for blood.
Oh. They're
I literally almost just choked to death.
Let's cut from that. let's cut from that to Dewey and Manaia. Dewey. Where have you taken Manaia?
Probably. Is there like a cabin? The closest cabin, like behind it.
Sure.
On the other
sure.
side of the ship.
Okay. You're fairly secluded here. It's just you and Manaia. You can hear the hammering of hammers against nails from the ship by the Black Tongue, but not much else. What do you say?
Hang on. Do we pass by Rev? Because I know she was nearby.
Oh, that's interesting. Let's say you do. Rev is leaning against a different cabin. She's sort of squatting against it, and you see her in the shade, and her hood's up, and she is whittling a knife.
Does she still have that darker expression?
Yeah, well, you can't really see it because her head's sort of hunched over. She's got a hood on, but the way that her shoulders are sort of bundled up, she looks conflicted.
As we're walking, Manaia nudges Dewey and is like, "Hey, should she know too?"
Yeah, actually, the more protection I can give, the I think he makes a sharp turn towards Rev.
Rev looks up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Rev looks up, her golden eye sort of glimmering darkly. You see on her kind of ashen, pale, drow-like face. There's some conflict. She looks disturbed. She looks a little irritated maybe. Her dark eyebrows are knotted together and some limpid hair hangs in front of her eyes. And her muscles sort of bulge in kind of an irritated way underneath her leather armor. I just need to
Muscles bulge irritatedly.
Can't do this.
Muscles bulge in frustration. My bulging, angry muscles. Yeah,
Somebody take a drink. Everyone is too thirsty in here.
I know, right? Speaking of which,
We
I'm
didn't
actually
hydrate 10 minutes ago, and y'all didn't do shit.
I almost died. I choked.
I did. I read.
Anyway, Rev looks up and says, "Yeah, okay," and she stands and begins to follow you, Dewey and Manaia.
They're as soon as we get to as soon as we get behind the nearest cabin, I'm like, their eyes, they're magic eyes in the ship. I don't know what the hell is going.
Hey,
I don't know what the hell is going.
Deep breath.
Eyes, red and staring at me and gonna attack me. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Hold on,
From the beginning.
Dewey. Yeah.
I opened the door to. I was under the below deck, and I opened the door to the head researcher's quarters, I guess. And
Sing, was it?
yeah, I don't know. I don't keep track of their names. There were just eyes all over.
What do you
They're
mean,
just floating.
eyes? Were they painted on? What?
They were just magical, glowing red, staring at me, staring into my soul.
Hey.
And then they changed.
Hey. Rev steps forward actually, and she puts a hand on your shoulder to calm you down. Hey, Dewey, it's gonna be okay, all right? They didn't follow you out of here.
Did you hear what I just said? It's not going. What part of glowing, magical, malicious eyes is okay?
Rev glances at you, Manaia.
Rev, he's right. I don't know if everything's going to be okay. Given everything, we can never know. But Dewey, thank you for telling us this. The more people who know this, the better. And, well, the researchers can't know that we know.
Hold on.
And
Were there wings too? Wings. Like, in our dreams. Wings.
No, right?
No, you didn't see any wings, just eyes.
Just eyes. Yeah, just eyes.
Hmm.
Wait, what do you know?
It's just ever since you all came into my life, spouting this Paragon nonsense, saying we're all connected because of destiny or whatever, I learned from, V that the dreams we were having, they're starting to make more sense if all of us have them and we all wake up at the same time. I don't really remember what happens in them. They escape me pretty much as soon as I wake up, but I do remember a few things. I remember eyes and I remember wings and blood. I don't know. What you said about eyes it struck a chord.
blood. Dewey, was there blood? You said
Oh,
red.
I'm sure there would have been blood if I'd stayed there for another second.
What do you mean they were about to attack you? How can eyes attack you?
I don't know. Something in them changed, and I just felt like I was in danger. I mean, I felt like I was in danger the whole time, but like imminent.
What? Okay, first of all, let's find a place that isn't outside. Maybe the cabin we're staying in?
Sure.
Okay. The three of you retreat into your cabin. It's quiet and you're alone. What do you do?
Dewey. Are you... as they sit down, Manaia says, all right. Dewey, you worked for the URL. Do you think this is some sort of weapon?
As it turns out, everything they do is a weapon.
As it turns out? What do you mean?
None of their research is just like research for advancing science's sake. It's all... I don't know what they have to do with this... with everything that's going on, but... I don't... Something they did caused it?
Do you think this room is going to be a danger to us once we commandeer the ship?
Yeah, I'm not stealing this ship with those eyes still there. I don't know.
And we have to find
For
a
all
way
I know,
to
they're
disable
communicating.
them. Exactly. We have to find a way to get rid of them, right? If we want this plan to
Yeah.
continue and succeed.
I was totally prepared to disable any, like, technological tracking devices, but I don't know how to deal with that.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm kind of new to this magic thing, but
Me too.
magic concentrated like that should have a source, right? Someone to mold it from the weave. So if it was in Dr. Tsing's office, then I suppose he's the one we need to do something about. If
Should
we
we
want
confront
to
him?
shut it down.
Oh.
Well, I could kill him.
I believe in your abilities, Rev, but even if we do he's dangerous. I don't know if we can take him down, and even if we can, he has a team of scientists with... Mahu knows what's up in their sleeves.
Dewey, were you able to find any information? He said it was his room. Did he have any notes, journals, or anything like that?
Probably. I didn't get a chance to look at them before I felt like I was going to die. but
Right.
Probably.
Right. Was it... You said it's below decks. Was it in port side, starboard? Could there be like a porthole we could look through? Anything.
It was a swath of the stern. So like at the back end of the ship, it was like the last room in the hallway. Below deck. And there were like portholes that had shutters drawn over them.
There's shutters, but there are portholes, but they're covered. And I'm not going back in that room to uncover them.
Well, no, we wouldn't be taking the door to get in that room, but
Yeah.
we need to know what's in there. And Dewey, I appreciate everything that you've done. It's been very helpful. We need to find Oka. They know more about, I don't know, symbols and eyes than probably we do. Unless Rev, I suppose if you're are multitudes of eyes?
Sorry, not ringing a bell. Aside from the nightmares. Oka might be our best bet.
He also
Or-
might know something about magic.
V doesn't know
Right.
anything.
Weren't you? Never mind.
And maybe off that, let's cut very quickly before we go to break. Let's cut to Oka, finishing up your sparring match with Solar Kim. So let's just make a quick roll to see how well you do. Let's just roll athletics. Go for it.
Can it be acrobatics instead?
Yes, it can. Roll, baby, roll.
I'll be using a point of inspiration.
I saw that. Was that a nat one?
No, it was a 7. Okay, that's much better. 24.
Wow. Okay, yeah. You beat him soundly. You beat Solar in your sparring match. So how do you beat him?
Yeah, I think it's cute and fun. You know, like it's like 1, 2, 3. Oka shifts into like a dueling stance, kind of like how they did when they were fighting the Tide Wolves. Like one-on-one and not with a monster, their fighting style is a little bit different. It's a little bit more polished, actually. And they move like just like 1, 2, 3. Like they know exactly where to put their feet. And they're like, your footwork is lacking a little bit, as they like 1, 2, you know? And like push him to the edge and then like parry, come back, you know. It's a hot sword fight, right? And I think the way that they win is that maybe like it seems like he's about to like sweep like their feet out from underneath them. And Oka will like jump up in the air and let their radiant soul out, so they can like you know, like one flap, so they can like flutter, so they don't knock anything down or fall, and they like kick him square in the chest and send him flying off.
Oh, it's cute. You're like, this is cute. I'm gonna destroy this man. I'm gonna ruin this man's whole career. Yeah. You as you land the final flourish against him, he goes, whoa, and he's kicked off and he laughs as he like skids like off the table. And as you land back down at the table, your like wings are splendid, holding that short sword. We are drawn into your double pupiled eyes as you're standing there in this perfect stance. We see now, as we go close on your face and then we pull out, we see a younger Oka without a scar, without any scars on their face, standing there holding a sword in a perfect sword fighting stance, and their hair is not short. It is in fact very, very long. And before we continue this flashback, let's just go quickly to break. 10 minutes. We'll be back in 10. We love you all. Peace. We'll see you in 10. Bye-bye.
I learned this from a witch who was born of many gender. I learned to see a light. I learned to watch it glitter. I learned a secret from the light. I learned to watch it dancing. I learned to swallow light, to illuminate my darkness. I learned to feel love when I look upon my dark things. I learned this from a witch who was born of many gender. I learned to see a light. I learned to watch it glitter. I learned a secret from the light. I learned to watch it dancing. I learned to swallow them to illuminate my darkness. I learned to feel love when I look upon my dark things. I learned this from a witch who was born of many gender. I learned to see a light. I learned to watch it glitter. I learned a secret from the light. I learned to watch it dancing. beauty. Take me out of my body. Diamond my skull, lay me in my glamour tomb. If that should take me, still be VIP. Take my body one more time. My last breath can be yours to keep. Yours to keep. Yours to keep. Diamond my skull, lay me in my glamour tomb. If that should take me, still be VIP. Take my body one more time. My last breath can be yours to keep. Yours to keep. Yours to keep. Oh, bitch, give me a skeleton key. Now there's pins in your eyes, blood on my teeth. Oh, bitch, give me a skeleton key. Now there's pins in your eyes, blood on my
Hello, 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 everybody. It's so great to see all of your non-existent digital faces yet again in the chat. Welcome back to part 2 of Arc 2, Episode 10, Love on a Wax Platter. So just some quick content warnings before we hop back in for our campaign, and the session may include addiction, memory loss, fantasy violence, death of loved ones, emotional trauma and baggage, self-destructive behavior, bloodletting, cults and cult-like behavior, anxiety and panic attacks described in detail, poverty and classism, a refugee crisis, natural disasters, and economic injustice. As a reminder, at any point in the session and during the stream, you can use !CW for all of these content warnings coming up in the chat. So please feel free to use those at any point. So let's hop back in. Oka, 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 oka. Ooh la la. Okay. Oka. Or should I say, Makoya. You stand in the center of a courtyard, surrounded by beautifully trimmed hedges, crystal clear fountains gushing water, and no fewer than 36 people crowding the edges watching an exhibition match between you and that motherfucker. The motherfucker stands across from you in the arena. He is beautiful. He is confident. He is an asshole. He is dressed in robes made of silk, just a little bit better than yours. He is wearing his hair in a ponytail, sort of girded there by a golden pin that's just a little bit more expensive than yours. And he is carrying a sword, a rapier, that is just a little bit more expensive and well crafted than yours. And we sort of hear a voice like booming out, right? Like over the open ceiling of this manicured courtyard. And the voice goes, Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. And this is all in Tu, the language of the Kingdom of Tu Long. In one corner, we have Prince Makoya Hien, son of consort Hien Arden, second born to the slumbering emperor. And there's like polite applause, scattered amongst everyone watching. And then the voice goes on to say, and in the other corner, we have Prince Mo Jingqian, son to Queen Mo Guilin, first wife of the slumbering emperor, firstborn himself to the emperor. And like the clapping gets like a lot louder, like everyone's like, woo, everyone's like screaming and cheer, and then like, all of a sudden the clapping like dies down as someone on an elevated platform who is watching this match from like a second story of this balcony, right? Think like Hanging Gardens of Babylon, right? The emperor of the Kingdom of Tu Long, their face shaded by fans, right? Like you can't see what they look like, but you see their flowing robes that go all the way down to the ground and actually spill out over the edge of this balcony. As the emperor, you just see behind the fan, like raises a hand, and everyone goes quiet immediately. And then, in a voice so quiet only you can hear, Prince Mo Jingqian, though you know him as Jing, or that asshole, snickers at you and says, hey, get ready to eat shit. And Makoya, how old are you when this is happening?
I think I'm 16 here.
Yeah, that tracks. It's time to begin.
You fucking prick.
What do you do as he launches himself at you with a perfect, like a perfect form with a strike, with a lunge forward?
Makoya centers themselves and then blocks to parry. They don't even take a step back. They just block and let him get in close because they have fucking sparred with this motherfucker enough times to know that he prefers to fight at range. So if he's going to come at them, fine, but he is not going to get away.
Okay. So as you parry and fight this princess, you fight Jing, both of your forms are perfect. They're exquisite. And it's like steel ringing against steel as like you like navigate your footwork and you like each try to get the upper hand, but like it's sort of like a give and take situation. There's no clear winner yet. And you sort of see out of the corner of your eye your mother, consort Hien Arden, the fourth wife of the Emperor of Tu Long. She is sitting. She's always been a little sickly, I think. So she's sitting in a wheelchair with several attendants standing nearby, watching with her hands folded across her lap. She is a rather average-looking woman, definitely not the prettiest of the emperor's wives or consorts. But there's something about her face that's kind of electric, and it lights up as she's watching you. And you just sort of see her mouth, like, go easy, as you're lunging in. Though you also see your three sisters. Standing next to your mom, you see, first of all, the youngest sister, Yaya, though everyone knows her as Princess Sambaya Hien, 16th born. She's standing there, she's like bouncing. At this point, she's very young, right? Like she's just sort of learned how to stand, I think. And she's like bouncing there, she's going like, yay, Makoya, go Makoya! She's like shouting from, and your mom is like, shh, Yaya, shh, like trying to quiet her down. And standing next to Yaya, also helping quiet her down, is Princess Liang Ya Hien, 11th born. She's got thick glasses, very big glasses on. She's actually holding like an armful of scrolls, and she's got like this like short like bob cut hair, where Yaya was kind of like a little girl, like tomboy. Like she's very much like a bookworm, and she's holding it. She's going, come on, Yaya, let's be quiet now. Oh, I hope Oka does the maneuvers we were talking about, as she like adjusts her glasses. And then finally, flanking your mom, actually standing behind the wheelchair, the second eldest daughter, closest in age to you, I think only like 2 years younger than you, Oka, or rather Makoya, is Princess Toya Hien, 8th born to the Emperor. And she's standing there. She looks very similar to you, Makoya. So why don't you describe to us what you look like as Makoya?
Yeah, I mean, as Makoya's fighting, fast, lethal, quick, more polished than the way Oka fights now. They just are wearing like the same like silk pants and shirt that Prince Moa is wearing, and their hair, which is long, is pulled back into like a braid that, as like they step, is almost like a whip down their back. It like touches the floor as they move, and there's still those bright blue double pupiled eyes.
Yes, Toya also wears her hair in like a long braided whip. She sort of took after you, but her face is like a little bit more angular than yours, a little bit, I think, more like, even at her like younger age, like kind of like mature looking. She's standing there like with her hand like drumming across like the handle of like your mom's wheelchair. So Oka, as you're sparring with Jing, right? It's hitting a turning point in the match. This is when you're supposed to lose. This is when Jing's supposed to beat you. And he steps forward and thrusts for that like critical strike to start pushing you back. What do you do?
I remember the very stern conversation that I just had with my mother right before this match started. And despite the fact that Makoya's hand like twitches, like as though it would go up to like parry that move, they hold it for a second longer and then move so that it doesn't score the point yet, but is able to start pushing them back. And they like every few like steps, they like shut their instincts down to like keep moving back on the defensive.
And as you keep moving back, you hear Jing sort of whisper through gritted teeth, "Bastard."
Motherfucker. Oka makes their eyebrow twitches. Does he have double pupiled eyes?
Jing? No. He is a half drow, half dragonborn. So he's got like long tapered ears and like scales down his skin. And you see his mom actually also standing on the other side of the arena, sort of parallel to where your mom is sitting. His mom is a full dragonborn, and she's like standing there like looking. No, his pupils look normal. Single pupils.
Instead of parrying that one, I think Oka like finds his mother's gaze right behind like the back of his head instead of like looking at him. They grit their teeth, and they, instead of blocking or parrying, they just completely sidestep out of the way, whirl their sword around, and bring the tip of it to the back of his neck.
So this is a clear "you've beaten him" moment, right? Okay. As that happens, a hush falls over the arena. This was not supposed to be the intended outcome here.
You wish you were me.
You whisper that, and you catch his mom's eye. Queen Mo-Guilin, who is the first wife to the emperor, is staring. If looks could kill Oka, you would be dead, resurrected, and killed again under her gaze. She is just like, and you see like puffs of like smoke coming out of her nostrils as her like red scales sort of shimmer with like barely repressed rage. And like two of her like, you know, like friends like lean in, and they're like whispering to her, and she just sort of like waves them away and like is like looking at you. And then the announcer goes, match point given to Prince Makoya Hien, second born. And everyone just, there's like scattered applause.
Oka spares Prince Moa, no, the fucking asshole. No further questions, thank you. And they sheath their sword and stride proudly over to their mother.
Before you reach your mother, Queen Mo-Guilin, the first wife, the dragonborn woman in her robes, she steps forward and she like gets in front of you, like gets between you and your mom, and she's got like one hand on Jing's like shoulders holding him, you know, and she's like surrounded by like her like, you know, her various consorts and like attendants, and she goes, "Prince Hien."
Makoya bows, you know, but it is like kind of like stretched out so that it's almost like a parody of itself as they bow, you know?
She says, you come from noble blood, but clearly one half of your bloodline is muddied with disrespect and a lack of humility.
And clearly your bloodline is no good at sword fighting, so not really my problem, is it?
She is smoldering, and you hear your mom's voice go, Makoya, as like the attendants part. And your sister Toya sort of like helps wheel your mom like into the fray. And Queen Moa goes, Arden, are you here to take responsibility for your son's rude arrogance? And Arden sort of like bows her head and says, yes, I am. My apologies, my queen. Makoya, come.
I won fair and square.
She just sort of smiles, and your sister and all your other sisters like are wheeled away, as you could feel like Queen was like icy daggers like glaring into your back. And when you're like out of the way of like anyone who can hear, your mom just sort of sighs and looks up at you and says, yes, dear, you did win fair and square, but that's not what this was about.
But it's a fair match. They wanted to see us fight, and I'm better. I literally have always been better.
Your sister Toya sort of like stops wheeling your mom and says, that's not the point, Makoya. Look, there's a lot going on here. And your mom just goes, it's okay, Toya. It's okay. Makoya, I know your head's strong, but there are certain compromises we have to make if we want to continue living here and being a happy family. Okay?
It's the only thing I'm good at. It's the only thing I can do. Can't I just have this? And Makoya stomps away angrily.
And on Makoya stomping away angrily, we pull back to the present. Where Oka, you are posed above Solar Kim, who's on the ground with your wings spread out. And as you sort of like flutter back down onto the ground, for just a second, your wings actually, they glitch, right? Almost like you would have no frame of reference for this because TVs don't exist here, but it's like if there's like static on a television screen. And then right before your wings shatter and disappear into 1,000 pieces, both you and Solar see eyes opening up in inky voids of black and red spread across your wings. And then the feeling's gone, and it feels like something in your chest is like jumping. There's like a spike of pain in your solar plexus. What do you do?
Yeah. Oka kind of like falls or it doesn't fall necessarily, but they stumble.
Whoa.
Look kind of wide-eyed down at Mr. Kim. I think we should get back. And Oka just turns and walks quickly. Kind of like how Dewey was walking earlier. They like basically run away.
Okay, you run away from the pretty boy. And as you leave Solar in the muck and soil, let us go back to V. V, you are finishing up your date with Koi. Koi has somehow procured some desserts for you, some freshly cut fruits in a bowl, and they are offering it to you as they're eating at like a strawberry and some grapes. Oh, Oka, I had a really good time today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this was a real girl. This would be real good with oatmeal right now. Let me tell you. But this is good too. Koi, I just wanted to like let you know that like you're pretty cool and stuff. But I'm probably gonna get destroyed. I mean, there's this prophecy. I don't know. There's just all this stuff going on in my life right now.
A what? A prophecy?
Well, there's, I've also got a god inside me and some other things.
You have a god? What? What do you
I
mean, Oka?
messed up, Koi. I'm just saying you shouldn't get involved with someone like me, okay? I'm just saying you're really sweet, and I think you're an amazing Minotaur. But I think I just don't want you to get attached because I'm destructive.
Oh, but Oka, I feel like I can fix you. I feel like if I got to know you better, maybe I could change you and fix the pain that's inside your heart.
Oh, Koi, that's the most beautiful thing anyone's ever said to me, but my heart is beyond fixing. I'm just darkness surrounded by skin. I'm just a creature of the night. Just
I understand that you're not in a place where you feel ready to date seriously yet. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I'm saying. It's, who knows what happens? Maybe if the stars come back and maybe if these weird creatures stop popping up everywhere.
Then you would date me? If the world came back to normal?
You
You promise?
If that happens,
Would you?
Okay, yeah, I'll make a promise. I'll date you. I'll be with you if we save the world.
Then it's sealed. And Erica, is it okay if you get kissed?
Yep, sure, let's do it.
Koi leans in and kisses you as Oka on the mouth. And at that moment, rounding the corner, as soon as Koi pulls away, you see Rev standing there. Koi goes, "Oh, whoops, sorry. I better get back to repairing the ship." And giggles sort of like a schoolgirl and gets up, taking the drying net with them as they walk off. Rev was standing there. There's a moment where she looks at you, Oka V, Voka.
Is Koi left?
Yes.
V's eyes start to melt out of this Oka, these bright green eyes, and white hair sort of sprouts out, and just slowly this tuxedo melts into V's normal garb, and the chrysalis robe spreads out around her. Hello, Rev.
She doesn't let you say anything else. She just says, "Your friends want to talk," and she turns and strides away.
Oh, and V gets up and quickly follows.
Okay, so V, you follow a very she looks peeved, Rev back to your cabin, where I think Oka, you're just arriving as well from the other direction, from the woods. You see Rev tailed by V, and Rev goes, there you are. Your friends want to talk.
Sure. Yeah, let's talk. Let's talk. Oka kind of glances behind them to where maybe Solar is coming after them a little bit. And they dart into the house before he can reach them.
Is someone following you?
Listen, Dewey, when you're as cute as I am, somebody's always following you.
Don't I know
Also,
it?
when you look like me, there's always someone following you. Anyways, there are eyes in the boat.
Hey, let's lock the door, make sure we're not being listened in on before we discuss this. V, would you?
Rev closes the door, locks it, and then draws all the shades.
Thank you.
Dewey, what did you just say about eyes? And Oka kind of they rub their shoulder a little bit.
They're magical, scary red eyes, like nightmare eyes in the bottom of that ship in the head researcher's room, and we cannot steal that boat with those on it.
We think it's some sort of weapon, and if it's tied to the head researcher, getting away from him might spell nothing short of disaster.
That's interesting. Our good friend, Mr. Kim, just told me that he is not quite so certain that the URL is everything that it says it is. And Dewey, I'm sure you...
Wait, he doesn't work for them?
No, he does, but he is... Well, who he works for exactly is unclear. I have questions about the tag, and hopefully he's going to get that for me right now, as well as your axe, Manaia. So we can look at the tag and the eyes.
I can deal with a physical tag, but I don't know what to do about magic.
That's why I wanted to ask you, V. You're more or less a magical expert. Magical glowing eyes. Oh, and Oka, right. Well... God, I'm all confused now. Oka, multitudes of eyes. They're red. You said they had symbols in the pupils? Right, Dewey? Something
Did they?
shifting?
Oh, sorry. Yes, they had pupils. Dewey, let's say you're able to describe everything you want to describe, exactly how I described it to you.
Okay.
Okay, do you know anything about what that might mean? And V, any ideas on how to deal with it? I don't know.
Well, I mean, can I roll my Hunter's Bane?
Yes, you can. Go for it. While that's happening, let's say there's a quick knock at the door. And the four of you hear Mr. Kim's voice go, "Hey, got a package."
Oka scurries over to the door, throws it open, grabs whatever's in his hands, and then slams it shut as fast as they can. This is what happens when they go on a date. Normal.
Who was that?
It is the Manai's axe, first of all, as well as like a little like brown package that you assume the tag is wrapped inside.
I think they slam the door in his face, and then they open it again really quick, and they're like, "You're missing 150 gold pieces," and then they slam it again.
Okay, what did you get on your Hunter's Bane?
Unnatural 20.
Okay. So based on everything Dewey described, and the fact that this was divination magic turning into evocation, divination with eyes, swirling irises, sort of void, red glow, very ominous, definitely feels evil. It is also divination, very likely, it's sort of ringing a bell with the blood scrying bowl Dr. Aluso gave you. So the eyes likely serve a similar purpose for Dr. Ting or whoever was in there to use them as a portal or some way to interface with a greater entity or with someone else using similar magic, right? The fact that it transformed then into evocation magic means that this is rather a complex ward or a very sophisticated piece of magic that both allows Dr. Ting to communicate and also helps guard the secrets of his office against any intruders, as, you know, the sailors had sort of intimated the researchers had did.
So I will say that that is more so of an arcana than it is a hunter's bane to recall information about monsters. I would be happy to have rolled arcana because it would have been the same number.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm just
cool.
going to give you the information.
Cool. Oka kind of like bites the inside of their cheek, and they're like, it's I mean, it sounds like I mean, what do eyes do? Eyes see, you know. It's kind of like, I bet if I tried hard enough and had like a lot more fucking power in my body, I could probably make something like that out of Dr. Aluso's bowl. Probably, or it might just be its main, you know, homing pigeon back to the URL. Not that that is any less ominous than it was before. Maybe I shouldn't have just told you that. I bet they didn't. I bet they weren't there.
They saw me.
They saw you? They looked at you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That means they know I'm... Oh, no, we can't steal the ship. They know where I am. I mean, they always know where I am, but we
Yes,
can't
but-
steal the ship.
Well, I would like to interject, Dewey, that they know you're on ship, but if they don't know where ship is, they don't know where you are.
And I mean, actually, you know what? I think V might be right, actually. And the place they would expect you least to go is on the ship, right? If you're supposed to be running away, like if you don't run away, they'll probably just look for wherever you're gonna go next, right? Like maybe they wouldn't even know that you were there. Oka tries to comfort Dewey awkwardly.
Have you met? Do you? We have to get rid of those eyes.
It's right. The URL has technology far beyond anything that we could comprehend. They know where this ship is and they know where it's going to go if we take it. We just have to do this fast.
I mean, V, how do you feel about you and I taking a look at that room?
I mean, I could certainly look a little different so that I could walk in there as looking like somebody. And
Yeah, you do
Maybe.
like to do that, don't you?
hi, what? Hi, Rev. Is there something you'd like to say?
Nope. That's it. And she like whittles her knife.
V takes like a sits over a little bit further away from the room from Rev, feeling some weird odd tension.
Yeah. Yep.
Actually, Rev, you might be the person we need. If this is a magical sort of communication thing, V, I love your plan, but it's got to be linked to his soul, right?
How do you figure? Oh, with Ching?
With Tsing, yeah. So-
Sure.
So if we can somehow make you look like one of the deckhands, one of the researchers, you presumably don't have a soul, which means you'd be undetectable by that. And if the IC was just a researcher who stumbled in, you could get the information we need and get out without anyone knowing.
The status of whether or not I have a soul is definitely up in the air. Sure. If that's what everyone thinks is the smartest plan, I'll do it.
Well, we wouldn't send you in alone, of course.
Of course.
Dewey, you can take a look at this, and Oka kind of puts the paper package down, tinker with it a little bit, and maybe we can check out that room. I mean, worst comes to worst, if we fireball it, do you think that we could fix the ship in time after we fireball it?
Probably not. Someone has to keep Dr. Ting busy and the other researchers while I and whoever else is doing this. They can't come in.
Oka looks at V.
Manaia also looks at V. You're the charlatan.
Oh, goodness gracious.
And V, there are ways to keep people busy that don't involve mouths.
Wow. I feel called out right now.
Well, I mean,
Rev,
she only knows how to use her mouth, right? It just keeps going and going and going and going.
I don't think you're helping, Oka. I don't think you're helping. Yes, fine. Let's I'll go. I'll think of something when I get there.
So, Oka and Manaia, are you coming with me?
I want to see what's in the room, or at least be nearby to help if I need to.
Okay, you go with Rev. V, if you can distract the scientists, I should be able to distract the deckhands. Get the captain into a conversation. Oh, I can do that, but
And I'll stay here and forge myself a new identity because now they've seen me.
Dewey, why didn't you just, I mean, no offense, but have you considered doing that like earlier than this? Like maybe
I
just right
do.
off the bat?
I have some identities in my bag here. I could give you some paperwork.
Can you forge this thing off of my wrist?
That's a little more troublesome, I think, friend.
Right. You go ahead and forge your own identities for now.
Let's do this tonight. We don't have a lot of time left before the ship's repaired.
Good. And in the meantime, I'll help you check that thing out, the collar, the tracker thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does that feel like a good place to end that scene and start our espionage stratagem? Yes, see? Great. Okay. You were just thumbs up. Great. Perfect. So I think maybe like we get a montage of like the sky turning like dark, with like clouds rolling across the sunless horizon, and it gets darker, darker, darker. And then we see like in sort of like quick time, like a time lapse of like the sailors working on the ship. They go on and off, on and off, and on and off. And like the researchers coming in and out of their homes, going into the ship and out of the ship. And then as we slow down this time lapse and it becomes like real time again. And we see like some sailors still taking like a later night shift, but then like the captain's like, all right, like on the deck. Time to go indoors. It's not safe out here. Calling out to her sailors, and they all nod, and they decide to they start to make their way down the gangplank. And we zoom in on where the researchers are staying, and we see Dr. Ting step out of his room. And into the darkness, actually, which is, he's not accompanied by anyone, which is a little unusual. He steps out of the cabin, and now, it's go time. As Dr. Ting steps out of his house, what do you do?
I'm gonna wrap myself up in chrysalis robe and cast disguise self. I'm gonna hold on to how I'm disguised self as, and I'm gonna just walk up to the good doctor and be like, "Hello there."
Okay, so
also I want to before this, V actually has cleaned the robe, so it's very clearly chrysalis robe now.
Okay, so you're gonna just disguise your face, like you're wrapped up in the robes, so you look like a cocoon.
You can't tell who I am with the robe all up and stuff.
You have like a hood on, like over your face.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Except for Dr. Ting pauses, and you sort of see like his very like hollowed out, like tired almost looking face. He pauses and says, "I'm sorry, can I help you?"
V pulls down the hood to reveal the face of Adam.
Oh
and
God. Okay.
Says, "Hello there. Can I trouble you for some conversation?"
Who are you?
Well, I don't like to say too much about who I am. I'm just part of an organization that believes in helping the greater good through what we believe to be the chrysalis.
His eyes like fall over your robe. He like takes you in, like sees what you're wearing, says, "Adam. Oh." And like a different look of like the second O looks different. Would you like to roll insight to see what that expression is?
Hell yeah, I would like to roll insight. Ooh, 18.
Okay, it is a mixture of distrust and interest, and a kind of familiarity. He's heard of you before. He's heard of Adam before. And he says, "Okay, fine, but I have to check in later. I don't have a lot of time." And he jerks his head off to the side and leads you into like a sort of like darkened area of the South Shore. Do you follow?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. And as Dr. Ting, we like pan away from Dr. Ting leading V Adam like into the darkness, and we pan to Oka, Rev, and Manaia sneaking through using the cover of darkness up the gangplank, right? So I need both of you to just make a quick stealth check for me.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Take a look at my stealth check.
Nat 20!
Very nice.
23 altogether.
Awesome. What did you get, Manaia? She's the only one I got. Da-da-da-da.
18.
Oh, great. That's awesome. Okay, so I think what that means is with your high stealth checks, I'm not even going to make Rev roll. She's just able to, you're able to help her along. The three of you like slink onto the gangplank. You see Dr. Ting leading VOA, and Rev stops in front of the aforementioned trapdoor that Dewey had. I'm assuming like pointed out which one was the one he went into. She flings it open and gestures for the two of you to go in first.
Yep, I think Oka slinks in. Is Manaia staying? Are you coming down with us, or are you staying up on the deck to make sure the captain doesn't find us?
Right, to like keep watch.
Are all of the deckhands off the ship at this point?
They appear to be, actually, yeah. But it would be smart to have someone like keeping an eye out, playing lookout.
I think Dewey would stay on the bank somewhere, like shaded, and like keep an eye out on the gangplank.
Oh, Dewey, you're not gonna try to like tinker with the tag.
I want to make sure this goes well, and then I can tinker with it later.
Okay, sounds good.
I would have assumed he would get right on that since it's been a few hours.
Too. But yeah, you can do that, Dewey. But it might also be smart for you to like do something else because like if Manaia, or it could also be Rev, but Rev is kind of crucial to being inside. Manaia or Oka, would either of you want to keep watch, or are you both going in?
As Oka goes in, Manaia's actually going to put a hand on their shoulder and say, if there's any crew in there, I need to talk them down. Let me go first.
Oka leans back and lets Manaia in.
Okay, Manaia, go down first, and as your heavy boots drop onto the wooden slats at the end of this ladder, there's no light down here. Do you have a torch with you?
You have Oka with you, who's a human torch.
Oh my god. I think that would have been part of our plan to bring torches, but to only use them once we're up below decks.
Right, so they don't see. Okay, that's smart.
Right.
Oka, you follow, and your boots also thud onto the wood. And yeah, what do you do? How do you light the way?
If Manaia procures a torch, Oka will cast light on the tip of it.
Okay, sounds good. Manaia, you take out a torch, and the tip of it begins to glow, and Rev follows as well. So let's say, Dewey, you are keeping watch at the end of the gangplank. Have you brought the tag out with you, Dewey?
I think so.
Okay, are you going to tinker with it while they're, like, slinking?
Yeah, I'm going to try and take it apart and keep an eye out.
Sounds good. So Dewey, as you carefully unfurl this package and you settle down with your tools out, right? Maybe using like a rock or like a bench nearby as like an improvised workbench. Rev also comes down, and guided by the light of Manaia's torch and Oka's magic, the three of you carefully tiptoe your way down this hallway. Manaia, you don't see any deckhands about. You do see that each of the doors that line either side of this corridor are named, or with each of like the researchers' names. You see Solar Kim's as one of the first. You see like Dr. Pelpone, you see Dr. Sato, you see Dr. Tiktabad, until you reach the final door. And as you get closer and closer, especially as you're about like halfway down the corridor, the three of you feel unease crackling through the air, almost like static or electricity, like settling into your marrow, worming its way inside your chest. This feeling of like, it's getting a little harder to breathe. Your breathing feels a little shallow, a little tight, a little labored. And unbeknownst to you, perhaps, like your body begins to sweat a little. It begins to collect around your armpits, and sweat begins to tickle down your neck, like rolling down through your turtleneck, Oka, and down past your cut short trench coat, Manaia. It's similar to the kind of pressure, let's say, you felt when you were around the Raven Queen and around Udabathi. But there's something different about this as well. It's not as strong, first of all. It's not like you're almost brought to your knees. There's something different about this. As you get closer and closer, Rev goes, you feeling that?
Manaia stops and turns around. Yeah. Okay. Vinosh doing anything?
Is Vinosh doing anything?
You feel Vinosh begin to stir in your chest.
I think like little tiny like sparks of red electricity start like kind of like popping off of Oka's skin. And they like throw a long look at Manaia and they're like, he's awake. But this could this Oka is trying to tap into something to try to, like, if this is a god, could they try to figure out which one it is? Like, could I roll religion maybe?
You could, but can I ask you again, C, to get closer to the mic?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay,
I don't
thank
know
you.
why it's not picking me up.
It is, but you're just kind of quiet.
Okay. I'll talk louder then. Can I roll religion?
Yeah, go for it, go for it.
21. I'm rolling really
Wow.
well tonight.
Yeah, you're rolling hot. Okay, as you pause before like getting any closer, let's say, to this fucked up door at the end of this hallway. Okay. This is similar to the feeling of dread, unease, and despair that you have in your nightmares when you're looking up at this huge thing with 1,000 wings and 1,000 eyes. The feeling is very similar. Okay. Rev just goes, I don't know about this. It's... You know what? Fuck it. Let's go.
Wait. Oka kind of like grabs onto Rev's arm. And like the thing that Mr. Kim was saying about the URL being doomsday cultists is like, it's like, Oka's like, oh boy, here we go.
Sisters.
Sisters. You know, I kind of thought Dewey was just being a little bit paranoid. I think whatever is behind that door wants to kill us. So.
Well, good thing we're in the court. And Rev strides forward bravely, puts a hand on the knob, and opens the door. Outside of Mahu's favor, Dewey, you have unfurled this tag. It's small, maybe the size of, half the size of your palm. How are you investigating it?
I'm looking for any like little screws on it. Anywhere I can like open it maybe, or because I assume it's just kind of like a. There's nothing on the surface that I can mess with.
Sure. Why don't you roll plus your proficiency with your tinker's tools?
15.
Okay. As you're turning this chip over, you're noticing clear signs of wear and tear on it that would date this, right? And this chip feels to you anywhere with your 15 between 5 to 10 years old, somewhere in that range. And you're noticing like some like signature, like this looks like an older model of like more like modern like tracking chips. You also notice like how some of the screws work. This is definitely, you can definitely put this in a machine to get data. You don't have access to the machine right now, but you did at the URL. It would take a long time to build this machine. You know, I don't know if you could with the materials you have right now, but you know where to find such a machine. It would be in Uhanahi.
Would I have any idea of the project that produced this thing? Because I was working there 5 to 10 years ago. Maybe?
Sure, yeah, you were. Well, you were in hardware, and hardware would manufacture like capture and release tags for like weird monsters and creatures for Wetware, who is the other department at the URL, which does research into entities and beasts and monsters and animals and whatnot. Each chip is sort of like has like a serial code on it that would like designate the project that it was for. And you look at the serial code here, and it is one you don't recognize. This is not a project you worked on. If you could get like a directory or like a list of serial codes, you could probably find the name of the project, but you don't have one on hand. It would probably be in Dr. Ching's room, though. Just so you know. Yeah. So with this information in tow, let us flash back on the ship before we go to V. Back on the ship, Rev has opened, pushed open this door. And the three of you see exactly what I described to Dewey. You see dozens of eyes everywhere, just glowing red, their irises swirling. And as soon as like Rev opens the door, that feeling of unease like hits you like a truck. It's all going over you, and all of the irises fix onto all three of you. They're like transforming, transmogrifying shapes and colors and void swirls. And Manaia and Oka, I need the two of you to make a charisma saving throw.
A charisma saving throw.
I know, this is some high level shit, babe. Is that a nat 1?
It's not a nat one, but I have a -2.
What'd you get, Oka?
3.
Ooh, I
Okay.
beat you by 1. Got a 4.
Okay, so C, do you mind
F in
muting?
chat.
Okay, so both y'all have 2 points of a collective inspiration, and Oka, you still have 1 personal inspiration. Would you like to use them?
What do you think, Devin? What do you think?
I'm interested to see where this goes.
I'm kind of also interested to see where this goes.
Max is like, absolutely the fuck not. Okay. I will give you both inspiration for taking the L. So Manaia, you now have 1 point of inspiration if you take the L, and Oka, you also have another point of inspiration. Okay. So the 3 of you, well, the 2 of you, I'll go let's see, Oka and Manaia, the 2 of you are like flanking Rev on either side. As you peer in at the threshold, the 2 of you feel like rooted to the spot as these eyes are fixed on the 3 of you. Ooh, what would be fun? Okay. The 3 of you hear a voice that sort of seems to come from everywhere and nowhere at once, just sort of like filling your heads, like filling the space. And this voice is not speaking in a language you understand, just like all the other gods' voices, right? Very similar. But for some reason, you know what they're saying. And this voice says, 3 paragons in a basket. Jackpot. And there's like a noise, like a cannon revving up, and beams of black light shoot out of the irises, and they hit each other. They intersect at like a vector, and then from all these dozens of vectors intersecting, 3 beams shoot out, and they pierce through you, Oka, they pierce through Rev, and they pierce through you, Manaia, all through your chests of black light. And I need the 3 of you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Wow, we're just rolling on my worst stats, aren't we?
Yes. You're a blood hunter. You should have a high Constitution.
Fuck you. $16.
16. Manaia?
24.
24. Okay. Rev, let's see. Okay, Rev. Okay. So what happens is as these 3 beams of light pierce through your respective chests, it's like getting like hit by like a train. You're just boom. You're like, it's like a huge impact. And I think even with your high saves, the 2 of you, Oka and Manaia, you like involuntarily stagger backward a little from the force of this beam hitting you. And Oka, with your 16, it is an odd feeling. Vinash is being blown out of you. You could feel Vinash like hitting the back of your soul, and then he begins to go through the back, like go through your back. And Manaia, with your high Constitution saving throw, I'm going to give you a chance to help Oka here a little bit. Because let's say you're able to weather the blow. Like you're blown backward, but you don't take any damage. And you see Oka like the lightning begins to spark off of their skin, and then you see like a red light begin to pour out of Oka's back. So Manaia, in that split second, what do you do?
Well, Manaia definitely staggers back. And they open their eyes to see Rev and Oka being struck by these Death Star-looking ass motherfuckers. And her first instinct, I think, is to save Oka.
How are you saving Oka?
Okay, dumbass decision time. She's going to yell Oka and then grab their arm and put herself in front of them. to try to block the blast.
Block the beam. Okay. So you save Oka's life. But I think Vinash is
No, I want it back. Give it back.
Okay.
If it's going anywhere, it's a scramble. Oka is tearing at everything they have to get it back.
I love
not
that.
going anywhere.
Okay, I'm gonna describe what happens then. I think it's you feel Vinash leave you, and it's like a huge emptiness. As all of you see, like just a spark. You see Vinash's true form, which is just a ball of red lightning, sparking everywhere, and it's like blasting many holes, like through the walls, and like ripping up like the hallway, ripping up the carpet, and then Vinash like tears back through your back and like blows out through the front of your chest, through that scar, like that's across your solar plexus. And it goes through Manaia too, but it's sort of like a ghost phasing through a wall. It doesn't tear through you so violently. And you see that black light is still being sustained. It's almost like it's acting as a tractor beam, like pulling Vinash toward the eyes. And you see past the open door that the eyes have changed into mouths, and they're all yawning open with teeth, like chomping as Vinash is getting pulled closer and closer to these mouths. Oka, how do you save Vinash? What is the price you pay to save Vinash? Why don't you think about that? And we're gonna cut to V to sort of end the session. V, as Adam, Dr. Ting has sort of pulled you to a secluded area, like by the cabins. He pauses and says, "What do you want?"
I'm a great admirer of your work. My group has also been experimenting with these creatures. We've been able to use some of their powers to generate the guise of human beings. I'm seeing the types of creatures that seem to follow you all around, and I'm a great admirer. I'm here.
You want to take credit?
Not at all.
You want to take credit for my work?
Not at all. You can totally have the credit for your work. I think we should work together, exchange notes. I think I'm here to talk to my double agent, which is the elf, Sister V. Mm. And I need her in Talamad as soon as possible. So she's going to do some stuff to sabotage the boat to get it to Talamad. And what I need you to do, to my understanding, you're supposed to retrieve a bag of souls from V, correct?
Not just a bag. As many souls as we can get.
Well, here's the important thing, that bag of souls is going to be rigged with explosives, so do not accept it on the boat.
What do you mean?
Allow V to give it to you, at least 100 feet away from the boat.
Oh, they're trying to double cross us, are they?
If you accept the bomb on the boat's going to get destroyed. I promise you.
That won't do. Does the bodiless know you're here?
Let's just say
He interrupts you. You know you have no jurisdiction over me, right? These are just suggestions. I report to her directly.
That's completely acceptable. I have no problem with that. I am just simply saying we should work together in this moment. I need V over in Talamad. You probably want to keep your boat. So just when the exchange happens, stay off the boat, and I would stay away from the bag itself until V, steps away from as well. And if you have, just consider that bag, very dangerous. You will still, but just let the bag be out there.
Fine. I suppose I appreciate your heads up. I had a feeling I couldn't trust the 4 of them. The 5 of them, I guess. Something about them didn't sit right to me. Especially that gray-skinned one with the double pupils. I have a hunch about that one. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too ahead of myself, but I don't know. Your inside woman, this V. Are any of them paragons?
I mean, I thought you would have already known.
Didn't get the chance to run my tests yet. I'm trying to play this safe.
A little too safe, in my opinion.
Look, Adam. I know all about you. Bastard blown out of time. You don't even belong here. What do you think you're trying to do? Kissing up to me, kissing up to the bodiless. You're not trying to supplant me, are you?
Not at all. I see an opportunity as one con man to a network of people trying to get ahead in this world, and I'm just trying to get my little slice.
All right, I'll take your advice, but I'll give you nothing in return. You're not having the ship. I'm taking it. They're going out to that, Raven's Eye for whatever reason. I think that's a good opportunity for us to take what they have. And for me to run my tests, I need to make sure that they're just random people. I don't know, I have a gut feeling. I'm sorry, you can't have Mahu's favor. I can't let you bring her to Talmud.
Well, it's understandable. Maybe, perhaps in the future we can do business. But I'm just be wary when the exchange happens. Stay away from the boat if you want to keep your boat.
Fine. But don't think this makes me owe you anything, Adam.
Well, maybe when the time comes and Adam starts to put the hood over and starts to stand up a little bit, when the time comes, maybe we can do business. And if you ever need anything, just talk to the elf. And Adam starts walking into the darkness.
Yeah, he nods and lets you walk away into the darkness. And I think the last thing he says as you're walking away, and to end our session with, is let's see. You might be making Mother proud, but I'll make her prouder. And with that, I think we end our session. We end Arc 2, Episode 10. So everyone, thank you for tuning in to Arc 2, Episode 10. This has been Transplanar RPG. We are an all transgender, people of color led, 100% homebrew Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition live streamed actual play campaign set in an all original non-colonial anti-orientalist world with some fucked up lore drop that just happened. I'm excited to hear what people's theories are. So we stream Saturdays at 3 p.m. U.S. Central Time right here on Twitch, and we just cut back our programming, so that's the only thing we do on Twitch. Keep your eyes peeled for a podcast release of what's happened so far. I've been editing past episodes into a highly sound designed podcast, which will drop on the 1-year anniversary in June 2021, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Follow us on Twitter at Transplanar RPG, and I've been Connie. You can follow me on Twitter at @byConnieChong. By as in the authorial sign-off, not the sexuality, though I am both. I will be publishing modules and mini games that you've seen here on Transplanar on itch very soon, probably on my birthday, which is March 28th. So keep your eyes peeled for that on Sunday. And with that, I'm going to do introductions to everyone else. Let's pass things along to Max.
Hey, I have been Max. I go by they them pronouns. I play the dumb birdman who should have just taken one from the team, Dewey Cork. You can find me on Instagram as Starchmonger and Stitchmonger, where I do sewing. I make pride flag masks. I'll pass it to C.
Oh, I have been. Okay, yay. I like that we got their backstory. Now they're gonna fucking die. Because I have an idea. Anyway, my name is C. I use they, them pronouns. I'm a dancer, digital artist, and tabletop streamer. You can follow me on Twitch at pi_sharp. Normally, I would be streaming tomorrow, but tomorrow is actually Pi Day. Haha, Pi Sharp, right? Funny. I am also a dancer. I say that all the time. You never know why. Now you know why. I am going to be hosting a watch party of Bring It Down Under Your Feet as part of the Merges and March series. It is a 3-part dance concert featuring Alana Morris Van Tassel and Penny Friesch, as well as collaborators. I worked the show. It was really fantastic. It will be on my Discord channel tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Time. So if you haven't already joined Transplanar's Discord channel and then look in the promos and ops and then find my Discord channel, which I just learned how to make, and join that so you can watch some amazing art live virtually among your good friends. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at pi_sharp_art or on Tumblr at pi-sharp. And with that, I'm going to pass it along to Erica.
Hi, everybody. I'm Erica, she, her, and I was playing Vinox Scherzo, everybody's favorite agent of chaos. And you can find me, Erica New Girl, here on Twitch. I do stram, playing a lot of Valheim, the Viking Minecraft. If you like this, if you like that, it's one of the new crazes on Twitch. Come check me out sometime. We try to have fun. I do some dancing, and I try to make people happy in life. And with that, I will pass to, speaking of making people happy in life, I'm going to pass to Devin.
Well, thank you for the compliment. Hello, everyone. My name's Devin. I use they, them pronouns. I don't do any of the cool stuff that other people do, like stream or dance or sew or whatever the fuck. I just kind of vibe in our Discord server. You should join the Discord server. It's a great, wonderful place to be. Share pictures of your pets. I bet they're not cuter than my dog.
Awesome. And on that threat, let us go Ray Persephiroth. She is a trans streamer, and she's also a GM for, oh my god, what's it called? Fast Times at D&D High, which is a cool podcast about teenagers at a Dungeons & Dragons themed high school, which is a lot of fun. So she is currently playing Pokemon Platinum. I think she's on like a special run. So let's go raid her. Use the raid message. We're Transplanar's plane shifting. Someone drop that. Awesome. Thank you. So use that raid message. We love you all. We will see you next week for episode 11 on Saturday at 3 p.m. U.S. Central Time. That is going to be March 20th. And peace. We love you so much. Thank you so much for swinging by. And thank you so much for all those subs. We appreciate it. Peace.